Over 300 Cameroonians have been repatriated from France from Chad as Chadian government attempts to fight against insecurity. 11 persons have been killed still in Chad in Jamena in a new attack allegedly carried out by Islamic group Boko Haram. Plus, Egyptian public prosecutor has died after a bomb attack on his vehicle that took place today on the local scene. Traders at the Ndokpasi market in Douala 3 municipality carried their broken pieces of stores. They were, of course, chased out of the market today after the sledgehammer of the Douala city of the Douala 3 municipality visited the market. The mayor of the Douala 3 council says he wants to build a modern market at the Ndokpasi municipality. Details coming up. This is the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinox Television. You're watching. We take you to the Douala 3 municipality in Ndokpasi market. To be precise, the sledgehammer of the Douala 3 council has fallen on traders at the Ndokpasi market as part of the market today, part of the plan to build a modern market. All structures were today brought down to ground level. Stores constructed beside the road were equally demolished. Traders have welcomed the idea of building a modern market, but say the council should give all traders priority when new buildings are erected. Their fear is that money might exchange hands and rightful owners of the stores could be abandoned. And after the destruction of the Ndokpasi market that took place today by the Douala 3 council, we have an excerpt of the chief of cabinet of the mayor for Douala 3, Mr. Gabi Wambo Lorang. He was speaking to our reporter, HTC.
Effectively, we are here today for the work of reconstruction of Ndokpasi market, and as you have said, all the traders were here because they appreciate the work that the council is doing to be able to build their market. The council is now to build a modern market, which is a building of 3 stairs and another space for those who are not able to have big stores, and we will be building offices and modern toilets so that the traders should be able to work in some decent conditions.
And over in the Northwest region, this information: a mother and her daughter have died in Balinyonga, Northwest region, of food poisoning. The mother reportedly mistook fertilizer for salt while preparing supper for the family. The lady and one of her daughters died on the spot after consuming the meal, and the other child is battling between life and death at the Bali General Hospital, where medical reports indicate that the meal consumed by the victims contained some chemical substance. And from the Northwest region of the country, we now take you to the Littoral region, back here in the Mungo division, where passengers and transporters in Jombe, it is found in the Mungo division, who have continued to be in danger as roads have been transformed into parking lots. A motor park constructed over 3 years ago has been abandoned. The problem came into limelight after a bike rider and his passenger cheated death. Mimi Mefo tells us more.
It was a crowd-pulling incident in Jombe when a bus almost crushed a motorbike with 2 passengers on board. The bike rider, according to witnesses, negotiated a bend without verifying the coming of another vehicle when the bus, which was heading for Douala, knocked him down. He explains that the cautiousness of the bus driver minimized the damage, though the bike rider and passenger sustained injuries. The incident has further exposed the problems plaguing the motor park in Jombe that has simply been abandoned years after it was inaugurated. Traders, drivers and travel agencies have resorted to load and offload passengers on roads and pavements. They describe the site and location of the park as unsuitable.
Then that garage is far for town. It is very far for town. That garage is far for town. All people them stay far gare routière. For come out for town, reach gare routière na 150. Before you reach for gare routière na pay before you reach for your house or for your farm or for Mbanga or for Loop.
Even the security of passengers is not guaranteed.
Light no day, water no day, and they need for put wash night. Maybe they begin sleep for day. Because for around 6 o'clock evening, they leave some man for day, no problem. That's all. Now what you do before that they run gare routière for Njombe?
Puisque les usagers éprouvent énormément de difficultés.
The mayor for Njombe Penja, who has admitted the difficulties faced by transporters, said that the project to install water and electricity at the park was halted after the contractor was involved in an accident.
Il faudrait que nous l'aménagions d'abord.
Nkahak Jean-Pierre said that plans are underway to ensure that the park serves the purpose for which it was intended, and that the Njombe Penja Council has more to lose if the structure is not put into use.
Parce que ça va.
Many companies in Cameroon are now surviving from presidential intervention and loans from banks. From all indications, bankruptcy, embezzlement, lackluster attitude of managers have taken central stage in Cameroonian companies, and observers say it is a sign of an economic and socio-political emergency in President Biya's country. Details in the following report. 3 government ministers waited for 1 week after the flood in Douala to visit flood victims, carrying along 20 million francs CFA from the president in solidarity. There are 6 municipal councils in Douala under the Seri Council, and reporters were made to understand that the money is meant to help these councils get some equipment to preempt such disasters. The action by the government on Douala flood is just one out of many interventions on a dying horse. Cameroon seems to be living on drips. What some politicians say, Cameroon is on coma, where every sector needs emergency. The same scenario in Douala was witnessed in 2012 in Marwa, when the dike went mad after heavy downpour inundating towns. Government structures such as Cameco now need oxygen to survive, with the 25 billion francs CFA recently given to the institution to ensure its stability. The Cameroon Cotton Development Corporation Sodecoton is also receiving billions of francs CFA to help the structure survive. The state, with the head Paul Biya, is now forced to intervene in almost every sector in this country, socio-economic, political and sports domain. There is no doubt that Cameroon is on an emergency, and projects which were not included in the 3-year emergency plan of Mr. Biya are being discovered as the days go by. There is therefore an evidence of mismanagement, corruption, embezzlement and laissez-faire attitude. A clear example is the numerous arrests and detention in Kondengi for mismanagement, state audit indictment, and trooping of top officials at the Special Criminal Court. The list is long. When will all this come to an end? And meantime, the application of international humanitarian law in the Cameroon's defense forces is under discussions at a meeting in Yaoundé where experts are meeting. The Yaoundé meeting is aimed at drafting laws applicable for peacekeeping operations. And Roland Akong reports that the initiative is of the International Society for Military Law. His report.
A manual on international laws applicable in peacekeeping operations will be put in place soon. That is the reason behind a meeting in Yaoundé Monday, bringing together experts with wide experience in peacekeeping operations drawn from international peacekeeping training centers around the world.
We want to learn from past experiences and draw the best out of that to come up with a very useful tool for international peacekeeping training centers around the world. So one of the key topics is the protection of civilians in peace operations. Another key topic is how you handle claims in peace operations. We're also going to look into the mandating process of regional and sub-regional organizations conducting peace operations mandated by the UN Security Council.
Taking place at a time when Cameroon and some countries in the Central African sub-region are challenged by terrorist attacks, the Yaoundé meeting will serve as a platform for the completion of the project manual of laws applied during peacekeeping operations in respect to the realities of the sub-region. The Yaoundé meeting will also enable Cameroonian experts to make known the evolutionary application of the international humanitarian law in the Cameroon Defense Forces.
And the Fund for Development of Maritime Fishing has vowed to intensify the fight against illegal fishing within Cameroonian waters. This was among other resolutions taken Monday by the Board of Directors meeting of the institution, which took place today in Douala under the auspices of the Minister for Livestock, Fisheries and Animal Husbandry, Dr. Tiger. And in the following excerpt, our reporter now talked to the Executive Secretary, Dr. Nguat Salvador, who now talks on the resolutions of the board meeting and some of their top priorities.
The main talking point was to adopt the accounts of the 2014, and the accounts will be adopted in the next board meeting that is conveyed in 15 days. For the execution of our action plan, we have reported all the improvement that we have had in the pilot project in Logbaba to increase the production of fingerlings in our country and aquaculture fish in our country. We have two priorities. The first is to support our brigade to control illegal fishing in our waters, and the second one is to promote aquaculture production in our country.
And close to 300 Cameroonians have been repatriated from Chad due to non-valid documents. The decision by the Chadian government is to foster security after over 30 persons were recently killed in bomb blast in N'Djamena, the capital of Chad. Mimi Mefo has more.
The preservation of peace and security is the main reason why the government of Idriss Déby resolved to evict hundreds of foreign nationals from Chad. The crackdown was launched by security forces on foreigners from Niger, Nigeria, Cameroon and the Central African Republic. Figures from Cameroonian officials have revealed that over 200 Cameroonians were expatriated from N'Djamena. Chad justified its action on the fact that all those who suffer the expulsion do not possess valid documents. The Cameroonian government, in reaction, has reportedly ordered for the repatriation of over 40 Chadian nationals residing in Kuseri, border town between Cameroon and Chad. Equinox Television is, however, yet to confirm the veracity of the information. This is the first time that Chad has resolved to expel Cameroonians in their numbers, though it has been a common measure being carried out against nationals of other countries in the sub-region. The exact motives of the preservation of security has been put to question, as the country blames Boko Haram over attacks and at the same time proceeds to chase away foreigners. The move, described as urgent security measure, further downplays the image of Chad as main promoter of free circulation in the CEMAC zones.
Thanks, Mimi Mefo, for that report. Meantime, 11 people have died in Chad following an explosion during a raid on a weapon cache in N'Djamena. The 5 Chadian security forces and 6 militants died as militants blew themselves up in a building after refusing to surrender to security forces. The incident is coming after at least 30 people were killed in a bomb attack that was just a few weeks back. And that takes us to news out of the country on the primetime newscast. Burundians went to the polls today for parliamentary elections amid opposition boycott and grenade attacks. Gunfire was heard in the capital Bujumbura and scores of people have been killed since the unrest. Several polling stations have been attacked in the capital and in other provinces. For the first time, African Union has not sent observers. The AU and the United Nations had called for postponing of the elections, but the government rejected demands. Egypt's public prosecutor Hisham Barakat has been killed in a bomb attack on his car in Cairo. He died in a hospital shortly after sustaining injuries. 8 other persons were injured. Mr. Barakat is the most senior Egyptian figure to have been targeted for assassination since a 2013 attempt on his life when he was interior minister. Hundreds of Islamists have been sentenced to death or life imprisonment as part of a crackdown on supporters of the banned Muslim Brotherhood group. Meantime, Tunisia has arrested a group of people over the massacre of 38 people, mostly tourists, at the weekend by gunmen. The attack, which was claimed by Islamist group the IS, is said to have been carefully planned by a group of persons. The gunman was shot by police after he gunned several persons out there in Tunisia. And European Union has demonstrated their solidarity towards Tunisia. Euronews has more.
The interior ministers of Britain, France and Germany stood alongside their Tunisian counterpart on Monday to stand firm and united against terrorism. They deplored the 39 deaths in the Friday attack, in which 18 Britons are now confirmed dead, although the final toll may be more than 30. And they saluted the courage of hotel staff and tourists who intervened to prevent even worse bloodshed.
President Essebsi is the first democratically elected president of Tunisia. Tunisia is a symbol of what is possible. And we have had a meeting this morning with my Interior Minister colleagues, which has shown the determination that we all have to fight against this perverted ideology that is causing this death and destruction.
Tunisian security forces arrested a group of suspects on Monday they believe helped the lone gunman go on the rampage. Determination is the key to the success we will obtain against those who organize attacks on us. As my colleague Theresa May has just said, we will win this war against terrorism. We are determined to win it. An investigation is underway to determine if the gunman received training at a jihadist camp in Libya. Islamic State claimed responsibility for the attack. Tunisia says all the arrested suspects are known associates of the gunman.
And that does it for the first segment of this news. Coming up next, we shall be talking inundation in Douala, the view of a politician in this edition of the news. Stay with us. Tonight we are receiving a former member of parliament for the Social Democratic Front Party, Honorable Evariste Fopusi Fotso, is equally the SDF Shadow Cabinet Minister in charge of Economy, Finance and Commerce. Good evening and thanks for joining us.
Good evening, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great, and you?
Very well.
Inundation in Douala, huge mobilization, big risks for the population. Your view on that after last weekend's disaster?
You know, I think it's not true to say that there is a huge mobilization. Is a huge mobilization for what? To provide the problem or to solve the disaster? You know, we have been facing a disaster in Douala a week ago, and this is the situation since our independence in 1960. So the problem is very, very serious, and the regime is unable to solve it. That's what we can say now. So what we call mobilization is noisy. The people are making noise for nothing. They are not doing, they are not acting.
Three government ministers have been in Douala the weekend. We've seen the littoral regional governor, Joseph Beti Asimo. We've seen the government delegate to the Douala City Council, as well as other mayors.
Do you think that we need 3 ministers to carry 20 million of Mr. Bia to Douala population? No, I don't think so. You know, what is the problem is Douala? The problem here is that since 1960, since we're independent, nothing has been done to provide the situation. Nothing has been done to build drains and gutters in order to evacuate rainwater. And every day we are facing the same situation. And people are making noise. What are they doing? You know, what we should talk through. The problem is that there is no mayor in Douala. Nobody is responsible of nothing in Douala. Until we apply the constitution by letting elected mayor manage Douala, we will never have a permanent
that's
solution.
Elected government delegates.
That's the
because we have 6 elected mayors.
A delegate is not an elected delegate. We should have a mayor, Douala mayor. Or if we want, if we can get elected delegate, it will be the same thing. But you know, those people who are being appointed by decree, they pass all their time to clean the way they were put delegate, and to try to be sure that they will be renewed in the same. They are doing nothing to drain water. They are doing nothing to clean out the gutters and drains. They are doing nothing to try to eliminate the swampy zones.
Now maybe before coming to that, the head of state sent 20 million francs CFA. We saw the 3 ministers who came with the 20 million francs CFA. Now you got your report. Can we say today that the intervention of the head of state in almost all occasions, can we say today that there is a big emergency in Cameroon as far as these sectors are concerned?
As Mr. Biya is acting, this is the proof that Cameroon is not governed. There's no government. There's no plan. There's no provision, and nobody is thinking of the happiness of population. So you see, and this is why every day when we need permanent solution, Mr. President sent 20 million. You see. What can we do with 20 million? We need at least 1,000 billion to solve the water problem in Douala. 1,000 billion. And Douala
how can that be? That's almost 1/3 of Cameroon's.
In Douala we're well managed. In Douala we're well managed. We have a budget of 50 billion. And with such a budget, we can easily get money from bank. If there is a legitimate leadership in Douala, it will be easy to get money from bank. We don't need more than 1 billion per year to get 50, 60, or 100 billion. We don't need. We need less than such amount, and so we can easily get that money if we have a legitimate leadership in Douala. And until we will have it, we'll never have permanent solution. It is not 20 million Mr. Biya is granting, is sending us to beggars that can solve this problem.
Douala, a town of
population are not beggars.
Douala, a town of inundation, urban disorder. Now you are talking of a political way. Are you saying that there's going to be a political way that can make the population of Douala, or take them out of troubled waters?
The first solution is political. We should promote democracy in Cameroon and in Douala in particular. We should have elected leaders. So that's the first thing.
Who is not doing what here? Maybe before we come to solutions.
We are struggling.
Who is not doing what in Douala?
Who is doing what?
Who is not doing what? Who was supposed to do what and is not doing his job?
No. The council, Douala Urban Council is supposed to do work, but I tell you that they are not legitimate, and that's why they cannot do it. So it is not the government. You can come from Yaoundé to solve such a problem in Douala. It is the Douala Council.
In this case, you are indicting Frix Tonen, who is the government delegate of the Douala City Council.
Those are like civil servants. They cannot solve such a problem, because the money they need can be obtained only if people are sure that they will be given their money back. If banks are sure that there's a legitimate leadership in Douala, they will help Douala. They will give the money to Douala.
Okay, Honorable Evariste Fosso Fopusi. Now let's come to solutions to inundations in Douala politically.
with the drains what people built before independence are too narrow and insufficient. So we should build other drains. We should clean out gutters permanently. We should solve the problem of swampy zones. In clear, what I'm saying that is that government should move before people as far as urbanization is concerned. Government should go and prepare empty zone to let people install, and government should not wait people to install themselves.
The government should be proactive.
That's the government should be proactive. They should provide, and that's what we call modern policy. That's what we need in Douala.
So the political will now?
The political way, Cameroonian people should fight to change things and to let, in the future, to let legitimate people should govern Douala in the future and be able to solve their problem. That's all.
All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Evariste Foposi Fotso, former member of Parliament for Kumki. It is found in the West region of Cameroon, and the current SDF Shadow Cabinet Minister of Economy, Finance and Commerce. Thanks for having joined us in this edition of the 6 p.m. newscast.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for having joined us, televiewers, in this maiden edition of the news for the week on Equinox Television. Good night.